Hey guys, it's Miss Newsom here. We are entering week 8 of distant learning, and I can't believe it. We only have about 3 weeks of school left before summer, and it's been a crazy end to this school year, guys. It has been my pleasure teaching you guys and getting to know you, even if we're not at school. I just want to say I love you all. Now, as we're ending this school year, we're going to kind of review some of the things that we've learned this year. Just the main points, key points that we think will benefit you in high school next year and all of that. So that is our focus, and we're chugging right along. This week, we are getting into angle relationships and writing equations from verbal expressions. Now, both of these things should be a review, but I am still going to take you through a little mini review over them both. So the first thing we're going to look at are angle relationships. Now, the first thing you need to kind of know are the types of angles that we're dealing with, okay? There's two types. We have complementary and then we have supplementary angles. Okay, complementary are angles that add up to 90 degrees, okay? So if I drew a line here and said that this angle was 20 degrees, well, this angle would have to be 70 because 90 minus 20 is 70. And I know these two are complementary because of this box right here, which means 90 degrees. Now, a good way to remember that complementary angles add up to 90 is when you write a C, it's kind of like a 9. Complementary adds up to 90 degrees. Okay, supplementary is the other type, and the only difference here is these angles add up to 180, okay? They add up to 180. There's a straight line. Straight lines are worth 180 degrees. Two angles on that straight line should add up to 180. So if we said that this was 40, this angle would have to be 140 because 140 and 40 make 180. A good way to remember that the supplementary angles add up to 180 is when you write an S, it kind of looks like an 8. Supplementary angles add up to 180. Knowing this is key for your assignment because when we look at these transversals, you have to know what two angles on a straight line should add up to. Hello. So this right here we're looking at is called a transversal. Okay, this is the actual transversal line cutting through these two parallel lines, creating 8 angles. Now, I want you to see really quick. If I took 1, 2, 3, 4 and took it off of this and replaced it down here, 1 would cover up 5, so those two are congruent, the same. 2 would cover up 6, so those are congruent. 3 would cover up 7, and 4 would cover up 8. So just you need to look at this and know that 1 is equal to 5, 2 is equal to 6, 4 is equal to 8, 3 is equal to 7. Okay? Also, be aware that angles that are across from each other, so like say 1 and 4 are equal to each other. Okay, let's say 6 and 7 are equal to each other, just like 5 and 8 and 3 and 2. Those are also good things to know about transversals. Now, when you come across a problem like this, it says solve for x. Well, here's x. How on earth are we going to solve for it? You have to be able to see, that this transversal line, there are two pieces. There's a top and there's a bottom. If I was to lift all 4 of these angles up and bring them down here, this 106 would correspond right down here. Therefore, this 106 can be rewritten down there for it to be easier to see. Now, these two angles are across from each other, meaning they are equal to each other. Therefore, to solve for x, we're going to set them up equal to each other. So 5x minus 20 is equal to 106. You solve it like an equation. We're going to add 20 to both sides because my variables are only on this. My variable is only on this side, so I don't need to combine it with anything. So I'm going to leave them over there. When I add 20, I'm left with 5x, and this is 126. The last step would be to divide. Now I'm going to try my best to do this. 125 divided by 5 is 25, so we're going to say 25.2. I think I'm correct, but I might not be. Go ahead and use your calculator and see if I was correct. But that is how you solve for x. Now, in order to find this angle, you're going to plug this back in. Boom. And subtract 20 from it, you should get 106. I will let you guys verify that. So that's how you solve for missing variables and angles on transversals, okay? You just got to use the transversal to your advantage. The next topic for this week is writing equations from verbal expressions, which are just word problems. So it says Miranda buys apples for 80 cents per pound and uses a coupon for $1 off. Let C represent the total cost of the purchase and let P represent the number of pounds of apples purchased. All we're doing here is writing an equation, okay? For an equation, you need two things. You need that M and that B. That M is the slope, okay? One way to identify the slope in a word problem or a verbal expression is to look for keywords such as per, each, like $1 per year, $1 per pound. All of those are going to indicate the slope, okay? Because we don't know how many, and that per and that each, that unit rate is attached to it. So she buys apples for 80 cents per pound. That per is very important to us because that indicates that this 80 cents is our slope. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in down there. Yes, I'm going to attach the x to it because x is always attached to the slope, and now we need to find the y-intercept. This one's a little tricky because it says she uses a coupon for $1 off. If you're taking $1 off, that is a negative thing. So that is going to be -1, and that is going to be where you start off. Let's talk about that. Another way to say y-intercept is the initial starting value, the constant. If you're walking into a store with $1 off coupon, good for you. You are already -1. You owe the store -$1. I know that sounds weird, but you're already walking in with $1 of your advantage, so you don't have to spend that $1 of your money. So that's -1. So down here, it's going to be -1 for that coupon. Now, this looks weird. We don't like that. So all we have to do, by the way, you can drop this 0 if you'd like. And that's how it would look. Yes, if it's money, you can still add it if you'd like and leave that 0. It doesn't matter. But this would be the equation for that verbal expression. All right, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday at our virtual class time, or at your virtual class time. And we only have 3 weeks left. Keep pushing. Y'all are doing awesome. Bye.